Hey, I'm Matt. This is Let's Talk Music, and I am here with the band The Other LA. So tell me, The Other LA, what does that stand for?
Well, it actually stands for Louisiana because we're originally from Lafayette, Louisiana. Instead of Los Angeles, we lived in the other LA.
See, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't for sure. That's pretty cool. So, where are you living at now?
We live in Nashville, actually.
Okay. So, do you miss Louisiana?
I miss the food.
Oh, yeah, the food is great. I love New Orleans. So, and we're talking with Aria and Joel. Joel, you're the guitar player. Aria, the singer. Um, the new song, "I'm Not Broken," really freaking dig it. I think you guys got something big there.
Thank you.
I think every from the beginning where it's kind of antagonizing, like I'm not broken,
Yeah.
to the end of the song and the opening, I'm a freak, I'm a misfit, I am who I am, and I'm proud of it. I think that is awesome.
Thank you.
So obviously, this song has some kind of backstory to it. Is it the way that you've been treated, or I mean, tell me about it.
Well, I'm actually on the spectrum, so I think differently. And some people might think that, I'm a freak or whatever just because, I'm not like most people. Like, I'm not what society wants me to be. And it's basically like, I'm not broken. I'm just going to be who I want to be. I'm going to speak my truth and I'm not going to follow the herd.
Right. And I think I love your voice. It really, I think when you get into the chorus and everything, it really comes out. When you first start, it's kind of like you're building up to it. You know what I mean? And in the chorus, it's just like you let it out. And I was like, man, she's got a really good voice. Who does the unclean?
That's our bass player, but he's not here.
His name's Mac.
Oh, okay. So is this like your first single off of a new EP? I mean, I haven't seen much of the press release. So tell me about your band itself. I mean, when did you guys start?
We actually started in 2014. We were an emo cover band in high school. And then a month into the band, we wrote our first original. And that's when we decided we want to do this full time. And here we are.
Now, is this like I said, is this a new EP that's come out, or are you just dropping singles?
We're just dropping singles right now. This is the most recent one. We've got a few uh coming soon. We're not sure exactly when we're going to release them yet, but the plan for right now is just to drop singles.
Okay. Do you guys have an EP, or you just this is just now starting and you're just dropping singles, just like I mean, dude, like from in the past, do you have an EP or anything?
Ever drop anything?
We did it a long time ago, back in 2016. Those were older songs, and we had that emo sound for a little bit, but I kind of grew out of that because just not who I am anymore.
Okay, I got you. What about getting out on the road?
We're actually going to be on our first tour of the year next weekend. Actually, we're playing Iowa and Wisconsin. We're doing a weekend run, but it's basically our first show of the year.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Who you going out with, or is it just you guys yourselves?
We're going out with a band. What are they called? Ignes.
Ignition.
Yeah, Ignescent
Yeah.
and
Bullet to the
Bullet
heart.
to the Heart. We're all on a booking agency called Blind Anxiety Entertainment. So,
Okay.
and the tour is called Queens of Pandemonium Tour. So it's an female fronted tour basically. So all the bands we're playing with are female fronted, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Right. I've actually been doing a lot of female fronted bands recently, and they're a lot of fun. I mean, I've been doing ones from over in Europe, and they're they do their clean and unclean vocals, and it's kind of almost like arch enemy.
Oh, like Arch and
You
Me.
see Alyssa White Glues, and you're like, man, she is so pretty, and she's got this, really cool or really nice, clean voice, and then she roars, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know. So that's one of the things that's just really been like sucking me in. I did this band out of, I want to say it was was it Italy or Finland? I can't remember. Anyways, they have like six different members, six or seven members, and it's female fronted, and there's also another female that plays an electric violin,
Okay.
and it's really the elements of the music is just so cool. I mean, how they do it over there and how we do it here is, I mean, the closest thing I can say is skillet, but they're not religious like that because I mean the song that they did was talking about the God of War. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I mean, I applaud you. I think that it's becoming a lot bigger nowadays. I mean, because back in the day, you had female bands, but they were like poppy and stuff,
Yeah.
or you had like, Pat Benatar and Joan Jett that were, kind of the I guess you'd say like the bad girls, but now you got Butcher Babies, Arch Enemy, the other LA. I mean, there's all kinds of bands out there that are doing the female fronting, and I think it's freaking awesome. It's a new wave of music, I think.
Thank you.
So, what is it that got you guys together? What is it that got you guys into the music?
Oh gosh. Well, when I was 13 years old, I would always go to these local shows in Lafayette. So Lafayette is known for really good music. Like it's Cajun country, so a lot of Zydeco music, but there's also a lot of indie bands as well. And there was this all-age venue called Frankie Burgers, and I would go there all the time. And I met a couple of friends and we decided to just do a cover band at first, but then we started to get serious a month into it.
And then for me, it was actually not nearly as cool. It was School of Rock with Jack Black.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
that. I saw that on my 12th birthday, I think. And I was hooked. And the drummer, Freddie, in that movie, I thought was really cool. So I was like, I'm gonna learn how to drum. So I became a drummer, did that for a while. I grew up in Montana actually, and we had 30 kids in our entire school, so we needed a guitarist. I figured out how to play guitar, and I was like, oh, I'm a lot better at guitar than I am drums, and that was kind of it from there.
Did you take lessons at all, or did you self-taught?
My dad played a little bit, and so he just kind of taught me the basic chords, and then I did the very basic thing of learning "Smoke on the Water." Then I learned Iron Man, and then the third song was "Sweet Child of Mine," and then I just kind of figured it out from there. So yeah, I've never actually taken lessons.
Okay, cool. And what about you, Aria? I mean, did you take any kind of vocal lessons or anything?
Actually, I did for a little bit, but I was actually self-taught for a while. I think 4 years ago, I was working with a vocal coach who used to work on American Idol. His name
Oh,
is James Lugo. He lives in Nashville and he's phenomenal singer, like really good with rock bands as well. He's a rock singer too, so
hmm.
he was helping me like learn to belt and also learn to pull back so I could sing quietly and not just loud the whole time.
Okay. And so do you do any kind of like vocal exercises before a show, or do you just go
Oh,
out there?
absolutely.
Okay, because I mean, I actually there's a band called Reign of Z that I did, and she's clean and unclean, and I asked her if she, did any kind of vocal, exercises before, and she's like, no, she's like, I just go out there and do my thing. She's like, because I feel like if I do the vocal, training or the exercises before a show, I'm just gonna overthink myself and I'm gonna screw it up. And I was like, and I see that, I mean, I would feel that way if I was in your guys' position. Like, am I gonna go out and miss a chord or whatever? Which I mean, 90% of the time it doesn't really matter because I mean it matters to you, but the crowd really doesn't catch on to it unless you really fuck up.
For sure.
But I mean, people that listen to that have a real ear for music. Like I've been to concerts and I walked up to the sound man, like, dude, you got the band way too high. You can't hear the singer.
Yeah.
And of course I get told to F off, but You know, I mean, I'm in the crowd, dude. I can, hear it. I don't know what's going on, but um, so you guys are actually says that your premieres on XM Octane tests to rave reviews from fans and other Octane bands. So you guys are like really getting at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're trying, hoping it stays. Hopefully, we can get in full rotation on Octane. But yeah, I mean, the feedback that we got off of I'm Not Broken just for what was on for a week
For a week, yeah.
just from that 1 week, and we've had a lot of people reach out. I won't give names, but a lot of artists that we actually look up to reached out, just saying they heard it on Octane and that they loved it. So it's been very exciting, and we're hoping, like I said, to get back on full rotation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll tell you what you guys kind of made me think of when I first heard you was like a female fronted Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh, really? That's
Nice.
amazing. That we've never had that compliment before. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, because it almost put me in mind of Happy Song. You
Okay.
know,
Oh my God, I can't look at I'm Not Broken the same now.
it just, I mean, I don't, I try not to compare bands to other bands. I don't feel like it's right, but I mean, it's not, and I'm not comparing you. I'm saying that it is kind of just a sound, like, I that's what it made me think of. And I was like, man, I can get into this.
Yeah.
So, and you got a hell of a thing going. And I mean, I'm actually I was going to look at your let me see, because I know when I looked it up, your I'm Not Broken video. I mean, your views are great. You guys are climbing. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, we've been watching.
Yeah. So I mean, subscribers, I mean, and that's unfortunately, I mean, I say unfortunately, but I guess it's kind of the now thing is that's how it's done. It's through social media, YouTube. It used to be, man, whenever you would go to a show, it's because you went and bought somebody's CD or their tape and you listen to it and you're like, oh man, I gotta see them live. And see, my biggest thing when I was younger was I was always like, okay, I want to see if these guys really sound like they do on the tape. And 90% of the time, man, I was not disappointed. I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't know exactly how old you guys are, but like some of the bands I'm talking of is like, Skid Row. When I went and seen Skid Row, I was like, dude, can Sebastian really sing that good? Can they really sound that good? And they freaking blew my mind.
Yeah.
Another one was the band Steelheart, that song I'll Never Let You Go, Angel Eyes.
Yep.
That guy, I did an interview with him. He's cool as shit. That guy did not miss a beat. I mean, he hit that high note, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they put like a vice clamp on his, voice before come out or what? Because that was some woman singing right there. I've never heard a dude sing that high, so that kind of blew my mind. So I mean, Aria, like, who are your influences when it comes to singing?
I guess my biggest is Maynard James Keenan from Tool. Like lyric wise, like he's brilliant and a great vocalist. Another one, I would have to say Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees and Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Oh yeah, love some Amy Lee. Maynard, I've been a Tool fan since Sober came out. That was yeah, that was one of my favorite bands. Seen them and many times, and I feel like that's one of the best group of musicians out there. I mean, Danny Carey is one of the best drummers. Maynard is just a lyrical genius. So yeah, it just, I mean, what about you, man? Who's your influences? I mean, who's like, now that you're a guitar player and stuff, who really, tweaks your interest?
I mean, I grew up on classic rock, so AC/DC and all that stuff was kind of my bread and butter. More recently, though, I'm into the heavier stuff. I like a lot of Architects, Polaris, which is a metalcore band out of Australia,
Mm-hmm.
Wage War, and then Bring Me the Horizon is actually a big one. I know they're not really heavy anymore, but their choruses. I mean, when you said Happy Song, I was like, that's one of my favorite songs by them. So Yeah, I'm into the heavier stuff, and I'm hoping to kind of bring some of those elements into the band. I'm actually one of the newer members, so I've just now been playing guitar with Otherlay for almost a year now. So hoping to kind of incorporate some of those heavier elements at some point.
And which what brand of guitar do you like to play?
Fender,
Fender.
a
Okay.
Fender man. Yeah, I play Stratocasters. I have three Stratocasters. The one I play a lot for our shows is a baritone. I'm kind of a bigger guy, so I like having something that just has a little more length to it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you ever catch any shit for that playing metal with a Fender?
No, no. It's kind of coming back. Like I said, I love Wage, and they do Fenders. They
Hmm.
were actually, I grew up being a Gibson guy. Like I said, AC/DC and School of Rock, and both of those things, the movie and the band, they played Gibson SG. So that was my
Right.
first guitar. And then I kind of got into PRS for a little while. And I had one of my high school best friends who's a big country guy because we're in Nashville, and he was just Fender, Fender, Fender. You got to do Fender. And then eventually I got a Fender Strat, and I haven't gone back. So yeah, I'm Fender all the way.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good quality guitar. I just curious because I mean, I think a lot of people now are kind of in the Sinister Gates type Schecter. You know,
Yeah.
I got a
Oh,
buddy that he's like, man, I finally got my perfect setup. He had an Ibanez, he had a Marshall's, cabinet and everything. He had everything he wanted,
yeah,
and he just sold it all.
done
Just due to reasons that I'm not going to discuss, but
that.
he just bought a Schecter, and he said that he had it set up. It cost him like $50 for him to set it up for him, and he said, "Man, that thing almost plays itself."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I for a long time I never even bothered paying anybody to set my guitars up, and then the first time I did it, it was eye opening, and I kind of slapped myself for not doing it before because the guitars feel so much better. And I actually just got a Schecter not that long ago, but it's a Stratocaster body, and it plays just like a Strat. So I mean, it's a Schecter, but it feels like a Fender.
Right. Aria, what it says you are a vocalist and piano. So, um, where does your piano training come from?
I'm actually self-taught, believe it or not.
Okay. So, like classical piano, what kind what do you do?
Well, it's funny. I basically, if I hear a song that I like on the radio, I'll just learn to play it on the piano, just like hear the notes, and I'll just try to make my own version of it, like a piano version of like a rock song that I love.
Hmm. Now, is that do you use that as a tool for writing at all?
Actually, I rely on the guys when they write music because I need to listen to like the mood and the tone. So if is it gonna be a sad song? Is it gonna be an angry song? It kind of helps get me in the mood to like to listen to it. I need to listen to the song a couple of times so I can write the lyrics to it because it takes me a good while to write some good lyrics. I'm a perfectionist.
There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's one of the great thing about being. I was just talking with another band before you guys, and we had kind of discussed that being an independent, you're able to focus more on your writing because there's no like pressure to get out a song or an album or whatever. So
Sure.
I think that being a perfectionist is great, especially when it comes to music, because I mean, you guys are putting your stuff out there, and you got to be proud of it. I mean, and I'm not broken. You definitely should be proud of. That's a bad jam. I'm telling you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, anyways, guys, I know you got a photo shoot to do. So, I appreciate you joining me. And what about it when I know I'm not broken just came out, but how about another single when we talking for that one?
Do we have any idea? We were actually just talking
Yeah,
about it downstairs before this of trying to figure out the release dates. I think we're hopefully going to be putting something out within a month to 2 months. We'll have another one coming.
And you know what? I think with today's society, today's crowds, that's the best way to do it. Month, 2 months, because you give them a month or two to chew on. I'm not broken, and then they're kind of like, okay, I'm tired of this song. Bam,
Yep.
you hit them another one. So,
Yep. Got to keep them coming.
yep. Anymore, man. It's a marketing strategy. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
So, All right, guys. Well, thank you for being on. Appreciate your music. Appreciate your song. I'm Not Broken. Badass. It's added to my playlist. So you guys just keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully, we'll get to see you up here in Columbus.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.